Hello. All right, I'm back for video number 2. Okay. I'm actually at home. Um yes, I'm not in a hotel. I am at my house. I arrived last night. Well, yeah, last night, very late. I was going to say this morning, but no, it was last night at 11, like 11:30ish. Um and I had to wake up early this morning to take my child to school. Okay, so it's been a long day. It is currently what time is it? 8:52 p.m. where I'm at, and so it's kind of late, and I haven't had a nap, but I had some coffee this morning, so we're good. Again, look, no editing skills, so I'm gonna hope and pray that I can get through this in one shot. If I don't, even if I don't think I'm going to, if that makes any sense, because I'm not going to start over. It's just going to be a one and done, okay? um, all right, so video number 2, what is it going to be about? I was taking my shower this evening, getting myself ready for bed, hence the glow in the face, honey. It is moisturized, okay? Um, so yeah, I was getting myself ready for bed, doing my nighttime routine, and it came to me that maybe I need to be talking about my spiritual journey a little bit, what I can share. Because again, I'm on a what I believe to be a twin flame journey. It sounds so weird to say like twin flame journey, but that's that's what it is, okay? A twin flame awakening, okay? For those of you who know, y'all know, okay? It's not toxic. So the thing about the twin flame thing, I will say this, is I think there's a lot of misconception on what a twin flame journey is. And maybe this is what I'm going to be talking about. I don't know. I'm going to at least say what I'm thinking about this twin flame thing, because I read a lot of like comments. I watch some videos and read a lot of comments with people like saying things about their twin flame and how, it's like so toxic and I don't know, just a lot of bad stuff. And honestly, when I started this thing, I was scared, okay? I was petrified after reading some of these comments. Like, I do not think I want to be on this journey. Like, what is this? I don't want it, okay? I'm going to send it back. But through this process, I've learned that it's actually quite a beautiful unfolding, I will say. I mean, I have been able to come into my spirituality in a way that I would never have expected. I mean, I would have never expected myself to be where I'm at right now. And I've learned so much. It's opened my eyes. I am actually grateful for the experiences it has brought. It has been quite difficult. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything about the twin flame journey. It is very tough, okay? It is tough because you go through lots of ego deaths. You go through meeting someone that you feel so resonant with. But I consider myself a divine feminine. In this case, I would consider myself, I mean, in the grand scheme of thing, if you're looking at like chasers and runners, maybe I'm the chaser, even though it's really not quite like that. It's more of an energy thing than I'm pursuing you, if that makes any sense. It's more of I understand where we're at, and the other person is still in the process of trying to understand everything, okay? Like it's not all clicking yet. But there is an awareness. There's an awareness of between both parties um, on the energy. So I do believe like both parties will feel something energetically. It's very obvious. It is not like anything I have ever experienced, and it will probably be um, if you're on a twin flame journey, it will probably be nothing like anything that you have ever experienced before in your life. Okay, I have been in a lot of toxic, not a lot. I've been in 3 serious relationships in my life, and um 4 relationships. Honestly, all of my relationships have been serious. I don't really get in relationships to be casual, or have not. I'll say I have not been in relationships in a casual way. So all of my relationships have been serious. I was going to say 4 because there was I can't even call it a relationship. There was a situationship at one point when I was in college, but um, it wasn't anything like, it didn't last long. It was like, it was just, it was not a relationship. I'll just say that, okay? Just leave it at that. So my 3, out of my 3 serious relationships, I have had some relationships that were toxic and were very low, very, very low vibrational, but I was also in a space of low vibration. And this is not that. Okay. So if you're ever in a situation where someone is abusive to you, verbally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive, um, emotionally abusive, because I've been in that as well, that is not part of a twin flame journey. So if you're in anything that feels like that, that is resonant of that, it is not a twin flame journey. Okay, twin flames are divinely put together. So you the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call your higher source, is there. You're not going to be brought into a situation where it feels that way. The universe won't guide someone to you like that. That's going to be a twin flame. Those could be karmic relationships. So that could be something that's very, karmic. And those karmic relationships are meant to teach you something about, yourself. It's meant to help you grow. It's meant to help you become more aware. Sometimes those karmic relationships are guiding you towards your ultimate relationship, whether that be a twin flame, whether that be a soulmate, high level soulmate relationship. And oftentimes I will say, those relationships are reflecting something back to you that you need to work on within yourself. So, I'll say when I was in my toxic pattern of relationships, I was, what was reflecting back to me was my low self-worth. I didn't value myself. I didn't value what I brought to the table. I gave a lot of my power away in those relationships. I was very Yeah, I was very powerless. But I was doing it to myself, even though I didn't realize I was consciously 1010 on my timer, okay? I will explain some of those numbers. Numerology is very big as well. But yeah, I was doing it to myself and I didn't realize that I was. And it was myself trying to wake myself up to like, look, you are creating these patterns in your life. And those were reflecting back to me in in a at least one toxic, very, very toxic relationship. So, and a lot of this I've learned coming into contact with my twin flame, okay? So, I can tell you a little bit about like how this began. Um, and it all started with deja vu, which is so weird, okay? So, any of you that have ever had like a situation where it's like, I've been here before, I've done this before, I've felt this before, even though you're in a place that you've never been to, you've never you have never seen, you've never felt, so you're like, it's definitely, one of those situations where it's like, okay, this is for sure deja vu. um and then the person that is my twin flame is someone that I would have never um seen myself being attracted to, not in a physical, well, yeah, in a physical sense. um because I'll just say I have always identified myself as a lesbian woman, okay? Not always, but it for a large portion of my life, okay? My adult life, as I've come into relationships and being with people. Um, all three of my serious relationships have been with women, okay? The one-off relationship was with a man. No, not even relationship. The one-off situationship was with a man. Um, but yes, all of my serious relationships have been with women, and I've just that's what I've been attracted to. And then when I came into contact with my twin flame, he was a man, and so it definitely was not something that was expected. Um, but it's just something that has been undeniable. Um, but in the process of that, I've just understood more of who I am. I've come into my power. I've been able to take my power back. I've had several what I would call ego deaths. um, you will go through a I've had a what is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking now. Um, Dark Night of the Soul, um, which is extremely heavy. You can definitely look it up. I won't go into it on this video because it's a lot to understand and discuss, but it's basically an ego death, probably the ultimate ego death, um, going into the ring of fire, if you will, and coming out a new, fresh body. So it although tough, it is definitely necessary when going through a spiritual journey. um I've always thought of people who are spiritual to be like people who are like granola eating, barefoot, walking in the woods, no makeup, uh, like vegan type of people. And while that is true for a facet of people who are spiritually awakened, it's also, I'm finding that spirituality is a spectrum as well. And the personalities of people who are spiritual are all on a different spectrum. The look of people who are spiritual are all on different spectrums. There's no one way to be when you're a spiritual person. I think universally people who are spiritual try to live with integrity and think about the wholeness of who we are, how we're all interconnected, how we can transcend our differences, looking at someone else, and even though they may not have the same views as you or ideologies as you, knowing that that person is still connected to you, connected to me, connected to the whole. We're all connected. We're all one. So there's some universal themes, but not universal looks, is what I'm saying. And I think that's beautiful. I think that helped me to be okay with this process, be okay with spirituality and understanding who I am, and like not feeling so restricted, not feeling so bound, if you will. I grew up in a Christian household, Christian Baptist household, and I felt really bound in that environment and restricted, and like I had to be a certain way in order to die and go to heaven, right? But there's just so much more to life than that. There's so much more to death than that. And I found that through spirituality, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. A lot of people will see like I wear this cross on my neck. And they think, oh man, she's like religious, right? And no, I'm not religious. I wear my cross for protection, divine protection. It's kind of like, some people like symbols, and I, use this as a symbol of divine protection. I did have a 444 necklace, but it broke, so I don't have it on. I do need to replace it at some point, because that is also my divine protection, symbol of divine protection. And yeah, I believe in that. What else can I say? So yeah, some of the practices that I do now is I meditate every day. So in starting my spiritual journey, I one of the first things I started doing was meditating. And so it's so funny because I've always been, as I said in my first video, I'm an engineer. My degree's in biomedical science. I've always been a very like heavy science oriented person, very logical, very like structured, but I've also always been a very intuitive person. So some people would say like they're opposites, and it is to a certain extent. So I've always been guided by my intuition. I've always allowed my intuition to guide me, even in my logical mind. I've known that my intuition or my gut feelings, it's not ever really led me astray. Even in relationships, I usually turn those feelings. I've found in the past that I've turned those, those gut feelings, those intuitive nudges off, which is why I, ended up in some of the situations that I have. But yeah, just very, very logical minded, right? So when I first started meditating, I'm like, I could never like really, it was hard for me to turn off my brain. It was just tough to like quiet the noise. And so over time, what I did is I started listening to meditation with noise so that it could help me to like focus on something else. And that actually helped for me, meditating to noise, meditating to meditative sounds, rain, everyone's different and what like gets them into that meditative state. But for me, it was always sound. And that worked for a long time until it didn't. And then I started doing some guided meditations and that worked. And now I'm at a place where I can actually sit in quietness and go into my meditative state, quiet my mind, relax my body, all of that. But that's taken time. I've been on this journey for almost a year now, which in the grand scheme of spiritual journeys might not be a lot of time, but for me, time is not linear anymore. I mean, it's what is time, So yeah, I started meditating. I do that every day. I meditate for at the very least 10 minutes. But I try to meditate for about 15 minutes a day, which some people, yeah, if I only meditate one time a day, it's going to be 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll meditate 2 or 3 times a day. It really just depends on how much time I have, what I'm feeling, if I'm wanting to connect to my guides a little bit more, if I'm going to be doing a reading for somebody, if I want to pull energy on someone, I will meditate as well, just so that I can call in some of the energy that I am going to be channeling and reading for. But usually it's at least 15 minutes one time a day. So that's all really it takes to connect in with source and to meditate. Some people think you've got to sit there and nam myoho and like meditate for a long time. It's not necessary. 23:23 on the timer when I said that. Whoa, okay. So yeah, what else? I drink a lot more water now. Water is the life force. The connection, it brings the connection into spirit a lot clearer. Water is also, I always look at water now as tied to like emotions. So yeah, water can maybe brings me closer into alignment with the way I'm feeling, with my body, with my inner self. And I try to eat more mindfully. I don't consume as much food. Although I do like some sweets here and there, honey. I mean, that is just one thing that is harder for me to just get rid of, okay? I like some good sweets. But I'm definitely a lot more mindful than I was before. And another thing about this spiritual journey is it's something with the divine, okay? But you get a good glow up, okay? physically, spirits will glow you up, okay? They just, I don't know what it is. I think it's through, part of it is through meditation. I mean, I used to have some wrinkles, in places that made me look a lot older. Since I've been meditating, since I've been connecting to spirit, I have more of a youthful appearance. So much so to the point where I will go into some labs, and labs that I haven't been in over a year. They don't recognize me. They're like, who are you? Labs that I would have frequently been to, that they would know who I am. So it's been interesting. That's been a perk. Okay. It's always a perk to look like you've gotten some work done, but no physical work done. Okay. Amen. So yes, so that is a small little introduction to my spiritual journey. I will go into more in depth of some of those, maybe some of the concepts, and maybe this will be a spiritual channel. Another thing that came to mind, I was looking over because I thought I could prop my phone somewhere. The other thing that came to mind was while I was showering, sounds so strange, was to pull a card for the collective, maybe pull energy for the collective. And I said, if I still kind of feel resonant with that as I'm recording this video, then I will go ahead and shuffle and pull a card. So I do feel resonance with that. So let me see if I can put the phone down. Okay, good. And I am going to shuffle. I've got my little, so I've got this Earth and Bone Oracle deck, which I actually love this deck. I got it because I loved the images on the cards, but I don't always get a lot of feedback from spirit with this deck. But for some reason, I wanted to pull a card from this deck. So maybe spirit is going to talk through this deck. Okay, we'll see. All right, spirit, can you please give me some guidance for the people who will be resonant and watching this channel? Is there energy? What is the overall energy that those who are watching my channel should know at this time? Let's see what spirit has to say. Okay. What is it you want them to know, spirit? Let's see if anything comes up. Okay, let's see. It says 25, the number 25, burrow. It says exhaustion, questioning, motivations, and realignment. Interesting. All right, we'll go to the guidebook on this one. The number 25. Usually I don't use the guidebooks, but I'll use it on this one. So 25 could be significant. The number 7 could be significant. The number 2 could be, number 5 could be significant. We've got green and blue in this card. So heart chakra, throat chakra could be significant as well. Exhaustions, questioning, motivations, and realignment. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Your soul has a growth spurt. Ooh, okay. Tremendous change. 5, hello. and transformation are upon you and within your inner knowing, regardless whether you are conscious or subconscious of the change. You may be tired because your soul is trying to match your energetic vibration to a new reality. It is trying to align you with who you are on a deeper soulful level. And being out of alignment, there is a need to match your inner self to your physical self, which is like playing catch up, and it is leaving you exhausted. Do not fret. There are things you can do to strengthen your connection with yourself and receive from the universe. Interesting, interesting. Practice meditation. Oh my gosh. Wow. So that you may commune and meet with your true self in order to see what it is that you truly desire. Open yourself up and practice vulnerability. Do not push shame aside. Embrace the feelings that may be uncomfortable and do whatever it is that your soul begs you to pursue. In regard to people who may criticize while you embrace your authenticity and vulnerability, remember their feedback is invalid if they are not the ones stepping up to the plate or facing off in the arena. Faith and vulnerability bring you closer to your higher self and who you are destined to be. Embrace past feelings and memories that make you uncomfortable and learn to heal them. So this card, okay, I just love it when Spirit like speaks to the whole message of this video. I mean, how beautiful is this? Okay, let me just continue. And okay, think of what makes you feel suppressed and acknowledge it, but never let it control your path or direction. Listen to your heart chakra, and create stillness to hear it. Spend time in nature and connect with its flow of energetic healing. Oh my gosh, I love Spirit. You know, that's the thing about Spirit is just I love them because they are just how beautiful of a card to wrap up this video after talking about connecting, meditating, healing. Wow, I just love it. I love it. So that is it for this video. Maybe this is something I incorporate into all of my videos. We'll see. If you like it, if you feel resonant with my channel, and or me and my energy, please do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification button so you can be reminded every time I post a new video. Comment below if there's something that you're resonating with in this video, or if there's something that you want to see, or if you have a question about something. I'm more than happy to interact with people. What else? And like this video if you so choose to. I think that's it. So peace. Bye-bye.